Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Sacred Sounds, the magic and healing through words and music. And I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel. Welcome to this beautiful Ted Andrews masterful book reading. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome, YouTube. All right. We pick up in this third chapter, and it's been really, really enlightening. The occult significance of speech. We pick up on page 70 here in Sacred Sounds. All right. Peace. Divine Rising. All right. Page 70 at the top. The human voice conveys who you are through a unique combination of rhythm, melody, timbre, and dynamics. It not only reveals who you are, but it also reveals from what sphere or plane you draw your greatest energy. Our voice is a personal vehicle for spiritual and creative expression. We do have a voice image, which pertains to the sound we produce and our persona. The voice image is the sound or the voice that we either like or dislike, identify with, or refuse to identify with. It has nothing to do with vocal abilities, and it is formed predominantly by the culture around the individual, peer group, family, mass media, etc. How to use the voice from a greater, more metaphysical realm is the key to discovering our true identity and the key to transmuting our energy and lives. We need to realize the full potential of our natural voice, that which we often fail to use. Each voice represents a unique personality that defines an individual's character. Every voice has two predominant pitch levels: natural pitch level and habitual pitch level. If the two pitches differ, then the voice is being misused. This misused pitch may be too high or too low. We must learn to develop and enhance our natural voice frequency. In Western society, people alter their natural pitch, creating an unnatural, habitual voice. This is seen most often in business, where a lowered, deepened voice conveys authority. Any pitch that is unnatural to the voice of the individual will strain the vocal mechanisms. We must learn to use our natural pitch and extend it, expand it to greater power and versatility. Unfortunately, today we adopt voices through imitation and without regard to our natural pitch frequency. We must find the pitch and octave most comfortable for us. Such a voice should be projected from the mask. The mask is the area from the nose bridge, the sides of the nose, down to and around the lips, to the point where the jawline sinks into the upper throat. A good exercise to determine whether or not you are projecting or speaking from the mask is to softly hum. Do the lips and the sides of the nose and chin vibrate? If so, you are speaking from the mask. Or do you feel more of the vibration in the nose area or in the throat area? By learning to speak from the mask, the voice becomes more flexible and it is filled with greater expressiveness and warmth. It increases in its range and power, and its ability to resonate and create responses in others increases dramatically. A basal voice, deeper tones, emanates from the lower part of the throat outside of the mask area. There are deep voices which emanate from the mask, which is ideal. This basal voice is accepted and actually encouraged by our society, even if it is unnatural for most individuals. The high pitched voice has been considered the bane of Western society. This high pitch is created by constricting the lower throat when speaking, as with a basal pitch, but the sounds are pushed higher. The nasal pitch is a third vocalization that is often unnatural, also frowned upon by society. It is the vocalization produced from the upper third of the vocal area or the nose area. With the aid of the piano, you can discover your natural pitch. In relation to middle C upon the piano, find the lowest and highest note that you can sing without complete loss of quality. This is your singing range. In the average individual, it should be at least 1.5 octaves, but whatever it is, we need to be aware of its range. The midpoint within that range corresponds most closely to your natural pitch. By working with it through vocal exercises and especially by paying attention to speaking and singing from the mask, the voice becomes more flexible and the range increases. As the range increases, you have a greater ability to resonate with a wider spectrum of people and energies. Peace. Welcome, YouTube. Thank you for reading with us. Hi. Peace, Stacy. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley. Welcome. Thank you for being here. We're pushing towards 600 subs on this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books. So thank you for being here. We're reading the great sacred sounds. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling, the magic and healing through words and music. So much appreciation for all the likes and subs, all of you. Much love. All right. Hidden aspects of our voice. In chapter 3, in the middle of page 72, hidden aspects of our voice. The sound created by an individual is a reflection of his or her general state of being and indicates the quality of life. This this is why many psychic and clairvoyants attune to the individual's voice for insight. The character of the person can be recognized within that voice if attuned to properly. A good experiment is to listen to the speech of another without listening to the words. Listen to the rate of speech, the volume, the pitches, and the timbre of the voice itself. It takes some practice to do this without allowing the words to intrude, but learning to listen to the musical expression of the voice, the rate of speech, and all other aspects will elicit great insight. This is very key. And why I want to definitely put a pin here. Explain. The hidden aspects of the voice. When someone is happy, elated, we can tell, right? In their voice pitch, it'll normally go higher, right? When someone is in pain and they're hurting, we can hear it in their voice, right? There'll be a etchy and a dissonance in it. So, with that being said, the quality of someone's voice is going to also be a mirror and reflection of how they are feeling in the inside. And we can, if we listen properly, we can attune right to it. So that's why listening is so powerful. We just read in the last part, last reading about the Pythagorean schools and them having to listen and not speak for 5 years. This goes with the restraint, right? And we gain discipline with restraint. So thank you for being here and listening. All right. We all can distinguish the excessively nasal, breathy, or harsh voices. There are, however, many other subtleties. The voice can reveal suppressed anger and other emotional states. Our moods affect our voice quality. Tones and expressions that are short and staccato can indicate anger or nervousness. Prolonged tones are used by all of us when expressing love to someone. Our self image also reflects itself within our voice. Self image leads to voice image, which reflects self image. Top of page 73. The human voice is a wonderfully sensitive instrument. It has a profound influence upon the meaning and effect of our words. The language of our voices reflects our personalities. For example, people who are either very talkative or very taciturn usually have problems with their astral bodies as a result of emotional imbalances. A dull, uninteresting voice can indicate a depletion or lack of energy and vitality. In general, a higher pitched voice can reflect a mental orientation, while low sounds may imply physical inclinations. Nasal or uneven sounds normally indicate a blockage or imbalance within one of the chakras, usually the throat or solar plexus. Off pitch sounds usually indicate imbalance in one or more of the chakras. This, in turn, can reflect an individual's lack of perception concerning a troublesome aspect of his or her life. Is he or she is usually not acknowledging aspect of the self. These are, of course, generalities and must be applied in relation to the individual's natural pitch. When adolescents go through puberty, their voices change. The cracking and changing voice indicates the opening and activation of the base chakra from a new level. Peace. Hi, it's heart love. I love you too. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, it's heart love. Much love. Peace, peace. We are on page 73 of Sacred Sounds. All right. Down in the middle. It indicates the movement of the individual to develop and assert his or her own independent and individual and energies. Our emotions are closely related to the sound of our voice. The sound often reflects astral and mental body conditions or emotional and mental states of being. Think of how many ways we could speak the following statement: I have all I want. I have all I want. It can be spoken with anger, pleasure, satisfaction, or hesitancy. What the sentence means will depend greatly upon how it is spoken by the individual. And every individual would probably express it differently. Page 74 at the top of Sacred Sounds. In the third chapter, the occult significance of speech. Anger in a voice results in a higher pitch and greater articulation of words, almost excessive articulation, with some syllables being intensely emphasized. Fear is reflected in a voice through sudden peaks, irregularities in pitch, and a faster, more precise articulation. People who habitually speak with these patterns may be reflecting fears on deeper levels. Perhaps they came into this incarnation in order to grapple with these fears. With sorrow or sadness, the articulation is slow. The vowels, consonants, and pauses are elongated. The voice trembles, and there are irregularities in voice quality, with usually a monotone at the end of the phrase. The voice also reflects much of the evolutionary state of a person. The softness or loudness of the voice can show the natural condition of the individual at the time. Sometimes the spirit is tired, and sometimes the spirit may be strong. If the spirit of the individual is powerful, the voice will be powerful, and this is not reflected through the volume. If the spirit of the individual loses vitality, the voice will also lose vitality. The light and darkness of the soul is revealed mhm, through the quality of one's voice. The voice responds instinctively to the energy and condition of the spirit and soul of the individual. It is for this reason that we need to increase awareness of the occult significance of speech. Peace, Tyler. Hi, it's Heart Love. Welcome for being here. Thank you for reading books with us in this peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. Live from the light here in LA, we're doing it. Loading up another one. I will put a vocabulary of brief emphasis in the description. And when it's finished uploading, thank you so much for being here live in the light to see this. It will all go in the playlist, and you can just tap on the playlist and it'll read all the books on this channel along with you. So, man, thank you so much. I'm seeing the readings just go up and up from all the different books. Thank you so much for clicking on the playlist and letting it read. You know, put in a lot of work and reading these books, and it's a service. So I really appreciate when you guys enjoy it, as well as, you know, I was signing a couple autographs yesterday on the books, right, Marquise? Oh my goodness, on the harmonic vibrational. And I mean, I'm getting so much great feedback of taking this work to the next level. And very, very key. So thank you so much for being here. Marquise said, speech is important and inflection to understand. That's right. Yes, thank you for putting that in the chat. That's why I like calling people to hear their voices. Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love speaking and hearing, because you can I'm just a big listener. I always have been, as you know, right? Being the middle child. So everyone else was doing stuff, and I was sitting and watching and listening and learning. And I think that's how I continue to gain discipline, is from being able to listen at a master level. It's taught young. That's right. And it's taught to the children young. That's why, the balance of hyperactivity is to be listening and calm. That's just always been me. All right. Down at the bottom of page 74 in this third chapter, and I'll read these last couple pages and we'll leave it off here for the day. Let you go out on this beautiful Thursday, divine rising. All right. The healing aspects of voice. The voice has a tremendous ability to be an instrument for healing. Pythagoras recognized the considerable therapeutic power of human speech. He treated diseases through the reading of poetry. He taught his students how a skillful, well modulated voice with beautiful words and pleasing meter could restore balance to the body and soul. The belief in the healing capacity of the human voice is common to many parts of the world. Shamans and holy men of primitive societies would use a spirit language to commune with higher intelligences so as to extract proper remedies. The Wiccal Indians believe that the soul or consciousness emits a high frequency hissing or whistling noise. During some times of illness, the soul strays from the physical body. The Wiccal shamans mimic this sound in order to help attract the soul back to the physical body to restore health. Confessions has been used by many societies and religions as a means of accelerating the healing process. This process aligns itself with many of modern psychology's psychosomatic remedies. It was used voluntarily by the Apache Indians during times of illness. The Apaches recognized that all levels of consciousness and action were intimately connected to the physical. By confessing, the individual faced what had created the illness. Confession, acknowledgement of truth and reality, a healing modality in itself. Accepting what is reality. This is one of the first parts of therapy when you're going through the process of therapy. Acceptance, not denial, acceptance, which means saying, I apologize. I'm now in a better understanding, right? I didn't have the understanding before, and so I'm facing it and saying, I apologize. I'm sorry that that happened in that way. I didn't have the understanding that I have now. And when you can accept, then you can move forward, right? Thank you so much for the likes. That's right. Owning all of it and not blaming anyone. You know, I'm going to give this gem right here for you saying that. Thank you so much, Marquise. That is powerful. You know, when we start to level up to a big time level and mastering thyself, knowing thyself, right? You've seen people, check this, they may hit their toe on something on the floor and they get mad, right? They get, why did they do, why did someone leave that there? First thing they want to do is go outside of themselves for their pain. When really, what I've learned to do, this is what I do. If I were to hit my knee or something, or hit my toe on something on the floor, where instead of getting mad and upset about something else outside of me, I say, Uriel, you have to be more careful. You have to be more gentle. And I'll touch that place that I've hit or that I've knocked something into. I say, Uriel, you have to take a little bit more care. Stop rushing. Be patient. I love you. I love you. I say that to myself. Now, this is how I deal with it. What it's doing is taking full accountability. It's not blaming it on anything else. It's saying, you, Uriel, you have to be more careful. You have to be a little bit more gentle. And when we start to get to that level, we know we have leveled up, right? It's taking complete ownership. So, very important in our life to harmonize with the good and the bad that we incur. I'll read this line again. Confession has been used by many societies and religions as a means of accelerating the healing process. This process aligns itself with many of modern psychology's psychosomatic remedies. It was used voluntarily by the Apache Indians during times of illness. The Apaches recognized that all levels of consciousness and action were intimately connected to the physical. By confessing, the individual faced what had created the illness. The Eskimos would utilize a form of collective confession, believing that all illness was due to a violation of sacred taboos. More commonly, the Catholic Church still utilizes confession. It has lost the physical healing aspects that once were associated with it. Today is more focused upon the spiritual and emotional cleansing, and few today acknowledge its intimacy with physical well-being. Our speech is comprised of two elements, consonants and vowels. The vowel sounds are the most dynamic aspect of spoken sound, for without them, the consonants could not be sounded. Many of the early alphabets excluded the vowels because they believed they were too stimulating, causing certain energies to be activated. And we know this to be the truth, right? The vowels keep the mouth open. That's why I wrote the harmonic vibrational manual. So go deep into it and set a practice in motion. And you can teach this in the vowels and how to scale them up to other people So getting the information out there was the key, and we completed it. Oh, nothing was going to stop me. I was assaulted. Had assassination attempts. Man, I had people come into my life that came back out of my life, or came out from back out of my life into my life, trying to get me to stop, and I didn't. I had people try to downplay it. It didn't matter. I still got it done. I told you, unstoppable, unbreakable, unduplicatable. That's right. I'm a real life problem and solution. I stand on my square every day. I'll say it to anyone's face, and that's a fact. Real deal. Every letter and combination of letters has significance. The Chaldean alphabet, one of the forerunners of our alphabet, was designed to be a tool for attaining higher wisdom. Their letters, sounds, glyphic forms, and the numerological correspondences provide clues to the more archetypal energies operating and activated through the words. We will explore a number of techniques in the next chapter describing how to employ these aspects in name magic and in the proper use of mystical words of power. I'm gonna pause right here. Sacred sounds. Woo! Right, Marquise. It's a beautiful day. Happy Thursday. Sacred sounds by the great master Ted Andrews. Magic and healing through words and music. Discover the magical power of singing, speaking, and storytelling. Thank you so much for being here. That's right. Real, you know it. Own it. That's right. We have to. You know it. And you'll know that that's even deeper than it even seems, right? So I love you so much. So grateful and thankful for all I have. Thank you for being here. I want you to have a wonderful Thursday, right? And we will reconvene in the third chapter when we come back. Let's have a glass of love water. All right. To the friends and family, to all those solar returns. All right. We love you. All those, this 129. Highest heart love. Love you so much. Thank you. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Been working a lot. Yeah, I got in late last night doing a show, and then was also doing work in the early AM. And today now I have a Your Healing session. So back to healing the people. I wish you have a wonderful day too. Thank you so much for being here. Highest heart, love, and honor. Shake it up on YouTube reading books. Right? I love you, you. I love you. You know, I love myself. I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here. Peace, peace.